Okay, we begin the shir, we begin the Gemara. We are holding on Daf Nun Dalid Amud Beis at the bottom of the Amud. Okay. So we were holding, the Gemara here is discussing the concept of being moiche, that a person has to rebuke, a person has to, when he sees something going on, so it's his responsibility if he's able to teach and rebuke and show people the way. And otherwise it's person himself can suffer if he doesn't. So the Gemara over here, the last thing we learned yesterday was, if a person can have an influence on the entire world, so then it's his responsibility for anything that's going on amongst Yidden in the world to speak up. Zok the Gemara, Vahani de Beireish Galusa. Those people that are the Reish Galusa, they had a very big influence on all Yidden all over. Nitvasu akul alma. They are could be punished for anything that happens anywhere in the world with the Yidden. Ki hadam Rab Chanina, as Rab Chanina said, Mai dechsiv. What's the pshat and this that it says in the pasuk? Hashem b'mishpat yavai im ziknei amai v'sarav. The Eibishter comes in judgment and he judges the elders of the nation and also the rulers. Im sarim chatu. If, as we see there in the pasuk, it's the rulers that sinned, zekenim achatu. The elders of the Yidden, which as Rashi says here refers to the Zekenim, what did they sin? Why are they being punished? Ela Eimes, so the pshat over here is, Al Zekenim Shaloi Michu B'Sarim. The elders, the Sanhedrin, is being punished because they did not protest against the rulers that sinned. Rav Yehuda have a Yosef Kamei de Shmuel. Rav Yehuda was sitting in front of his teacher Shmuel. This woman came to him, to Shmuel. She was screaming in front of him. She was screaming, she was asking for food, or she was talking about some injustice that was done against her. Shmuel did not pay attention to her. So Rabbi Yehuda says to his teacher Shmuel, does the master not hold of this that it says in the pasuk, Oitim oznaim mezaikas dal? If you close your ears of hearing the cry of a poor person, Gam hu yikra v'lo yana, then you yourself will call out to Hashem and will not be answered. So why aren't you listening to this widow that's screaming, or this woman that's screaming? Amar lei, so Shmuel answers, Rav Yehuda, shinena, sharp one. This we have in the Gemara many times. Shmuel used to refer to Rav Yehuda as the sharp one. Reishach Pekridi, your head is in cold water. Your head referring to your teacher, in other words, himself. Shmuel himself, my head is in cold water. Reisha de Reishech, the head of your head, meaning the teacher of your teacher, Bachamimi, is in hot water. And who's the teacher of Shmuel? Hayasef Mar Ukve Av Bezdin, Mar Ukve, which was the Av Bezdin in that time period, and he's sitting and it's his responsibility. The Chsiv, as we see in a pasuk that it says by David HaMelech, Beis David, Koyamar Hashem, this is what the Eibishter says, Dinu la Beiker Mishpat. You should judge in the morning, you should execute judgment in the morning. And Ba'atzilu Gazul Miyad Oishek, and save a person that's being robbed from somebody that's oppressing him. Because Penteitze Ke'esh Chamasi, a fire will come out from the Eibishter's anger, Uvara, and will consume Ve'im Mechabe, and nobody will be able to extinguish this fire because of their evil deeds. So what does it say in the pasuk? That Beis David, the ones that are in the house of David, they have the responsibility to make judgment to save those that have to be saved. So Mar Ukva, which was also a descendant from David HaMelech, and he was the Av Bezdin, it's his responsibility, Shmuel says. It's not my responsibility. So what we see from the story is that when you have someone that's greater than you and it's his responsibility, so then he's the one that has to speak up or take care of the matter, and not necessarily someone that's below him. Rab Zayda said to Rab Simon, why don't you rebuke those people at the house of the Reish Galusa that are acting inappropriately and deserve to be rebuked and to be guided and showed the way? Amalei, said Rab Simon answers, they're not going to accept my words. Amalei, said Rab Zayda says, even if they will not accept it, you should still rebuke them, you should still show them. There is never a case where the Eibishter has a positive thing that he says that he's going to do, and then the Eibishter retracts it. Anytime the Eibishter says that something that a good decree that he's going to do, the Eibishter never retracts it, besides one case. The Chsiv, the Pasuk says, and here the Gemara is going to bring a lengthy story, and we'll see here where the Eibishter retracted this. So this is a Pasuk in Yecheskel, and this was a very, very bad time period for Klal Yisrael in the time of the Churban of the first Beis HaMikdash. And there the Eibishter is speaking in the Pasuk to the Malachi Chabala, the Malachim that are coming to destroy Yerushalayim and the Beis HaMikdash. And Malach Gavriel comes with them. Vayemer Hashem Elov, Hashem says to him, Avar b'toichi ir, pass inside, go through the city, b'toichi Yerushalayim, in the city Yerushalayim. V'hesvisa tov al mitzchaysa anoshim, and you should mark with the letter tov on the foreheads of the people, hanen nochim v'hanen nokim, that are sighing and moaning. Al kol teyevis anasas b'toicha. They're crying because of all the terrible things that are done in their midst in the city of Yerushalayim. So as Rashi says, who does this refer to? Who are these nenachim and nenakim? Who are the people that were sighing and moaning? This refers to the tzaddikim. The tzaddikim in the city, so them you should place a mark on their forehead with the letter Tov. What was this all about? So here the Gemara brings the conversation that happened between the Eibishter and Gavriel in regards to the pshat of this pasuk. Amalei HaKadosh Baruch Hu leGavriel, the Eibishter says to Gavriel, Leich u'rishaim al mitzchan shel tzaddikim, go and mark the foreheads of the tzaddikim, Tov shel diyai, at Tov with ink. So the Malachi Chabala, the angels of destruction, should not rule over them, should not touch them. And on the foreheads of the Rishoim, Tov shel dam, you should mark a Tov with blood. So the Malachi Chabala should destroy them. This was what the Eibishter said to Gavriel. So the Midas Adin, the justice, responds to the Eibishter and says, Master of the universe, why the tzaddikim any different than the Rishoim? So the Eibishter responds, Halalu tzaddikim gemurim. What do you mean, what's the difference? These are pure tzaddikim. V'halalu Rishoim gemurim. And the others are Rishoim gemurim. So therefore they deserve to be killed, and that's why you have to put a tov of ink on the tzaddikim and a tov of blood on the Rishoim. The Midas Adin again responded to the Eibishter and said, Ribono shel olam, Master of the universe, but they had the opportunity to protest and show people the way, and they did not. So the Eibishter says to the Midas Adin, but it's revealed and known to me, even if they would protest, their words wouldn't have been accepted. So therefore they can't be liable for not protesting. Malafana of the Midas Adin again says to the Eibishter, if in front of you it's known that their words wouldn't have been accepted, lahemi goli, for them is this known? It wasn't known to them. So therefore they should have rebuked and shown people the way. So we see in the continuation over there in the Psukim where it says that the words of the Midas Adin were accepted. And the Eibishter retracted the good decree that he was going to save the tzaddikim. The Pasuk says, Zokem, Bocher, Psula, Tav, Enoshim, Targul, Lamashchis. Old and young and men and women and children, all are going to be killed by the destroying angels. Val kol ish asher olav atov. But then the pasuk in the beginning says the people that have this tov of ink, this letter tov marked on their foreheads, those tzaddikim al tigoshu, don't go near them. But then the pasuk says mikdashi tachelu. From the mikdash you should begin the destruction. Uksiv, the pasuk says, "Vayachelu ba'anoshim askenim ashalafnei abayis." The destruction began by the old men standing by the Beis HaMikdash. So the Gemara here will now explain how we see that even the tzaddikim were also punished. Tani Rav Yosef, so Rav Yosef said, "Al tikri mikdashai." Don't read the pasuk where it says, "Mikdashai tachelu," begin the destruction from the Beis HaMikdash. Ela mikudashai. Read the word as mikudashai, those that are holy. Meaning the tzaddikim. The destruction did begin with the tzaddikim. Eilu b'nei Adam shekaimu Es ha-Torah kula me Aleph va-Tov, referring to the people that fulfilled Torah from Aleph until Tov, and nevertheless they were also destroyed. So even though in the beginning of the pasuk it says that those people, Asher Olav Atov Al Tigashu, don't get close to the people, to the tzaddikim that don't deserve to the destruction, they shouldn't get close to them, but afterwards it says because the Eibishter retracted the good decree because of the fact they did not protest against the Rishayim. Immediately the pasuk there says what happens. 6 men, referring to 6 angels, 6 malachi Chabala came from the gateway over there, from going in the north side. All with their weapons in their hands. One amongst them was lavush habadim, dressed in linen. This refers to Gavriel that came amongst them. V'kesas hasefer b'masnav, and the scribe's inkwell in his loins. Vayavayu vayamdu eitzel mizbeach hanachoshes, and they came to destroy the Beis Hamikdash, and they stood there at the side of the mizbeach hanachoshes. Mizbeach hanachoshes. So the Gemara says, what's this mizbeach hanachoshes? Mizbeach hanachoshes mihave. At that time period, was there a copper mizbeach? As Rashi here says, at that time period they had a mizbeach made out of stones, not out of copper. So what is this all about? Amalu HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Eibusher says to the Malachi Chabala, Haschilu mimokim sha'imrim shira lefanai. Begin the destruction in the place, or from the people that sing in front of me. And that's the nechoshes that the pasuk mentions there. As Rashi says, it refers to the Leviim that sing with the copper instruments. Gemara now explains, who are these 6 men, these 6 malachi Chabala that came? Amar Rav Chiste, so Rav Chiste names them and says what they are. Ketzef, Ema, Af, Vechema, Mashchis, Meshaber, Mechala. Fury, anger, wrath, destroyer, and breaker, and annihilator. Those are the 6 malachi Chabala that were there. So this is an unbelievable Gemara. This Gemara you see over here, how important it is for tzaddikim to speak up, whether to protest, or whether more broadly speaking to show and guide people, even Rishaim Gemurim, to do tshuva. The Rebbe brings this Gemara in a few places, in a Sikha, in a letter, and the Rebbe brings from a Gemara in Yuma, where the Gemara there says that this time period before the destruction of the first Beis Hamikdash, in the times of Yecheskel, was one of the lowest time periods in history that Klal Yisrael ever experienced. And there were such Rishayim that it was almost, it wasn't fathomable that they would B'chlal do tshuva. And yet, what does the Gemara say over here? That the tzaddikim gemurim are liable. You can never give up hope on another Yid, and you always have to speak up and show and teach and protest. And otherwise, the person is liable because you don't believe in the person, that he has a neshama in him that really wants to hear. And you always have to speak up. This is the lesson, the very powerful lesson that we take out of this Gemara. Now the Gemara goes back to the Tov that it said before, that they were marked, both the Tzaddikim and the Rishayim were marked with a Tov of ink for those that are being saved, and with a Tov of blood for those that are going to be destroyed. Why the letter Tov? Rav, so Rav says Tov, the letter Tov that is the first letter of 2 words, Tichya, for those that live, and Tov is also for Thomas, those that will die. Shmuel Omar, and Shmuel says Thomas Chusaves. The letter Tov is the beginning of the Tov of Thomas Chusaves, that the merits of the Aves is used up, is completed, and therefore the letter Tov for the Tzaddikim is that for them they have the Chus of the Aves, which will complete with them, and the Rishayim will not have the Chus of the Aves. Rabbi Yochanan Omar, Rabbi Yochanan says Tochen Chusaves. The Chus of the Aves should rest upon them. Again, the same point being that it will rest upon the people, the tzaddikim that go in the ways of the Aves, and not for the Rishayim that don't go in the ways of the Aves. This is the way the Maharsha explains this Gemara. Reish Lakish Amar, Reish Lakish says, Tov is Soif Chaysameh Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tov is the end of the seal of the Eibishter. Amar Rav Chanina, Chaysameh Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the seal of the Eibishter is Emes. The 3 letters making up the word of Emes, Aleph, Mem, Tov, being the first letter of the Aleph Beis, the middle letter of the Aleph Beis, and the last letter of the Aleph Beis. So the Tov is the Chaysim of the Eibishter. Rav Shmuel bar Achmeni Amar, Rav Shmuel bar Achmeni says, Eilu b'nei Adam shekaimus haTorah kula mi'alef v'ad Tov. The letter Tov was the mark on their forehead, because the tzaddikim are the people that fulfill the Torah from Aleph until Tov, and therefore they were saved. On the other hand, the Rishayim, which did not fulfill the Torah from Aleph until Tov, so therefore they're being destroyed. But ultimately, as we learned before, even the tzaddikim, the destruction reached the tzaddikim as well, since they did not protest. Rab Shmuel sagt the Gemara weiter, when was the time period that the schus of the avos was used up and the Yidden can't rely on the schus of the avos from then on? Sagt the Gemara, Amar Rav, so Rav says, Mimois Hosheya ben Be'eri, from the times of the Navi Hosheya. Shenemar, as it says in Hosheya, Agala es nevlosa le'ene me'avel, I will reveal the Yidden's shame or the Yidden's disgrace in front of all those that love her. V'ish lo yatzilena miyadi, and there'll be nobody to save them from this. I mean, referring to the Avos, that the Avos won't have the ability to save the Yidden. Shmuel, Alama Shmuel says, Mimei Chazal, from the time period of what happened in the times of Chazal. Shenem of Chazal was a Melech Aram, king of Aram. Lochatz es Yisrael, he oppressed the Yidden. Kol Yemei Yehoyachaz, in the times when Yehoyachaz was the king. Uksiv, and the pasuk there says, Vayichan Hashem Oisam Vayirachamim, the Eibusha showed his grace and mercy to the Yidden. Vayefen Aleim Lamam Brisa Yis Avram Yitzchak v'Yaakov, and the Eibusha turned to the Yidden because of his covenant with Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. V'loi avash chisam, and he did not want to destroy the Yidden. V'loi yashlichem al panav, and he didn't throw the Yidden away from in front of his face. Ad ata, until now. So because the pasuk says ad ata, we learn from here that it's only until now that the Eibusha is turning to the Yidden because of the schus of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, but not after that time period. Rabbi Shua ben Levi, Rabbi Shua ben Levi says, Mimei Eliyahu, from the time period of Eliyahu, Shenemar, it says, Vayiba leisa mincha, was the time of mincha. This is by the story of Eliyahu and the Hara Carmel. So Vayigash Eliyahu Navi vayomer, and Eliyahu Navi said, Hashem Elokei Avram, Yitzchak v'Yisrael, Hayom Yivoda, today it's going to become known, Ki ato Elokim b'Yisrael, that you are the God of Eden. V'ani avlecha, and I am your servant, u'b'dvarcha asisi es kol advarim ha'ela v'goymer, and with your command I've done all of these things. So the diuk of as Rashi says is, because it says Hayom, so the schus of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov is only today. Only on that day, but not past that day. Rabbi Yochanan says, Mimei Chizkiyahu, from the time period of Chizkiyahu, Shenema lemarba hamisra, the shalom and kates, the increase of sovereignty and the endless peace upon Al Kisei David, on the throne of David, Val Mamlachti, and on his kingdom, Lahachanaisa, to prepare it, to Lesada, and to establish it, and to uphold it, B'mishpat Ubtztaka, with justice and righteousness, Me'ata Va'ad Olam, and from now on to forever, Kinas Hashem Tzvais Tasazais. The zealousness of the Eibusher will do this. So as Rashi says, the diak here is, it says it's going to be Kinas Hashem Tzvais. It's not in the schus of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Me'ata Va'ad Olam, for future generations, we need Kinas Hashem Tzvais for this. Sagt die Gemara weiter, Omarav Ami, Ein Misa Beloichet, there's no death in the world that's not caused by sin. Ve'ein Yisurin Beloyovin, and there's no pain and suffering that's not caused by Averis. So Chet is B'shaygig, even B'shaygig, and Avain is B'mezid. So Taisus over here says the kinds of Yisurim we're talking about is very, very terrible Yisurim, not just stam any pain and suffering. When you're talking about very, very terrible Yisurim that a person experiences, it comes because of Avai, because of Averis of B'mezid. There's no death in the world without this cause of a sin. The soul that sins deserves to die. And then the pasuk there says, Ben la yisabav and Av, a son doesn't carry the sins of his father, Av la yisabav and Ben, and the father does not carry the sins of the son. Sitkas at all of the righteousness of the tzaddik is on him. All of Tia will be on him, Berishas harasha all of Tia, and the wickedness of harasha will be upon him. There's no pain and suffering without sin. That the Eibusha says, I'll remember their transgressions with a rod, and their iniquities with a plague. So we see that the suffering comes through Averis. So the Gemara will ask on this, and eventually the Gemara will refute this statement. There is death in the world, or suffering maybe as well. I mean, the Gemara brings refutes this concept regarding death, possibly regarding suffering as well, even without the cause of sin. But there are hidden things that the Eibusher does that we can't understand. Meisvei, fragt the Gemara, it says in a Braise, the angel said in front of the Eibishter, Ribono shel olam, master of the universe, why did you bring death upon Adam Arishon? So the Eibishter responded, Mitzvah kalet zevisiv v'avar aleho. There was one simple mitzvah that I commanded that he should not eat from the Eitz Hadas, and he transgressed. Amalei, so the Malachim asked the Eibishter again, but Valei Moshe v'Aaron shekayim kol ha'Torah kula meisa. Moshe and Aaron fulfilled the entire Torah, and they also died. Why did they deserve to pass away? Amalei, so the Eibishter answers, Mikra echad l'tzadik v'lerasha l'toiv v'goyme. There is one event that happens to a tzadik and to a rasha. This mikra, this event we're talking about over here, refers to death. That a tzadik and a rasha both pass away when their time comes, even if there's no sin that causes their death. So this is a pretty clear braisa that says that death in the world is part of the nature from the time of Eitz Hadas. That's part of the nature of the world, and it's not necessarily caused by sin. So the Gemara answers, Hu the Amar ki haytana. This statement that the Gemara said before, who said this? Rav Ami, that said this, he was following the opinion of another Tana. The Tanya we learned in a different brayse. Rab Shimon ben Elazar says, Af Moshe v'Aaron b'cheta meisu. Moshe and Aaron also passed away because of their sins. Shenamar yan lo yamantim bi, because you did not believe me. And this is at the story of Mei Merivo, when they hit the rock instead of speaking to the rock, and that's what caused them to pass away. If they would have believed then in Hashem, their time to pass away from the world would have not arrived yet. The Gemara asks a question from another Braise. Meisvei, we learned in another Braise, Arba Meisu be'etyei shel Nachash. There are 4 that passed away only because of a result of the Nachash's counsel. Meaning, only as a result of Chet Eitz Hadas that brought death into the world. But they did not do anything, no Aveda whatsoever, they did not deserve the death. And these are the 4 individuals. Binyamin ben Yaakov, Amram Avi Moshe, Yishai Avi David, and Kalev ben David. These 4 individuals. V'kulu Gemara, regarding all of them, this is a tradition that they passed away just because of the Etyeh shel Nachash and not because of any sin of their own. Levar me Yishai Avi David, besides Yishai, the father of David, the Mefarish Beikra. This you could learn from what it says in a pasuk. The Chsiv, there's a pasuk where it says as follows: Ves Hamasa Sam Avshalom Tachas Yoyev Saratzova. Avshalom appointed Amasa to be the minister in the army instead of Yoav. Who was this Amasa? Amasa ben Ish Ushma Yisra, a Yisraeli. He was the son of Yisra Yisraeli. And who's Yisra Yisraeli? Ashabal Avigail, which married Avigail. Bas Nachash, she was the daughter of Nachash. Achais Tzruya, and she was the sister of Tzruya. Aim Yoav, the mother of Yoav. So the Gemara questions, V'chi Bas Nachash Avoy, was Avigail the daughter of a man by the name of Nachash? V'halei Bas Yishai Havoy, she was the daughter of Yishai. In other words, the brother of David HaMelech. Tichsiv, because there's a pasuk where it says, V'ach Yoseyen, Tzruya and Avigail. They're sisters, and this pasuk is talking about the children of Yishai, was Tzruya and Avigail. So Avigail was the daughter of Yishai, not the daughter of Nachash. Ella, when it says here Nachash, where the pasuk is referring to Yishai as Nachash. Why is that? Basmi Shemeiz be'etyeh shel Nachash. She's the daughter of Yishai that only died because of the counsel of the snake. But he had no Avedis of his own. So now we see here clearly in the Braise that there are 4 individuals, at least these 4 individuals, that passed away without any sin whatsoever, just because of Etyeh shel Nachash. So how could Rav Ami say that there's no death in the world that's not caused by sin? So we see that there is death in the world without any sin, and the Gemara continues, and if so, it logically follows to say that there's also suffering in the world without any sin. It's hidden things that the Eibishter does. It's part of the nature that we don't understand always what the Eibishter does. Okay, I'm sorry, I skipped the line of the Gemara. I'm going to go back up. So the Gemara says, Mani. Who is this Braisa here following? Are we going to say that this Braisa is the Tana of the first Braisa quoted before, the conversation that the Malachi HaShoris had with the Eibishter? And in that Braisa we saw clearly that it held that there's Misa in the world even without a reason. If that's who the Braisa is, so then So then this Braisa here would not say that there's only 4 individuals that passed away Be'et Yishal Nachash. There's another 2, there's Moshe and Aaron. Elalav Rab Shimon ben Elazar. This Braisa must be following the opinion of Rab Shimon ben Elazar that said that even Moshe and Aaron sinned. And still we see that Rab Shimon ben Elazar holds that there is death or suffering in the world even without a cause of sin. Tiyufte, the Rav Ami, Tiyufte. This refutes the statement of Rav Ami completely. So there's a sikha from the Rebbe where the Rebbe discusses this concept of Daled Meisu Be'et Yeshel Nachash, 4 that pass away just because of the counsel of the snake. And the point the Rebbe says is, first the Rebbe brings from what it says in Torah in the end of Parshas Mishpatim, that from the time of Chet Eitz Hadas, there's sort of an intrinsic yeshus that's within the existence of every person, including even a tzaddik gomor, and that's really what the Et Yeshel Nachash is about. It's this yeshus that's there that causes Misa to be in the world. That's the pshat on the Gemara here. Then the Rebbe brings there in the Sikha the hesped that the Arizal said in the Ramak, and he said that V'humas, when he passed away, V'talisa Yisrael Eitz, the only reason he passed away was because of the Chet Eitz Hadas, which is a similar concept to what the Gemara says here. And the Rebbe actually points out that the Arizal was making a point that when the Ramak passed away, it was even on a level higher than what it says over here. You can look, it's a very interesting sikha. It's in Parshas Kiseitze in Chelik Chav Dalet. Let's go weiter in the Gemara. Amar Rav Shmuel ben Achmeni, Amar Rav Yonasan. So we were speaking about passing away with sin or without sin. So the Gemara brings up different great tzaddikim that when you look in Tanakh, it seems like that they did sin, but the truth is that not necessarily did they sin. So Rav Shmuel ben Achmeni said, Amar Rav Yonasan, anybody that says that Reuven sinned, he's making a mistake. Shenamar, the pasuk says, Vayiyu b'nei Yaakov shnei masar, and Yaakov's children were 12 in total, and the pasuk enumerates them there together. Melamed shekulan shkulan kachas. They're all equal one to another, and just like the others didn't sin, Reuven didn't sin either. Elamani mekayim. So what's the meaning of the pasuk where it says Vayishkaf as Bila pelegesh aviv, that Reuven lied with Bila, the maidservant of his father? So it seems like there was a forbidden relationship over here that he had with the wife of his father. Alamed, the pshat over here really is Shebilbil Matzoi Shalaviv. He disturbed the bed of his father. And the Gemara will soon explain what he did. The pasuk considers this sin to be so severe that it says that it's as if he lied with her. But he did not sin. Tanya, Rab Shimon ben Elazar said, Mutzel oitzei tzadik me'eis oven. This tzadik, Reuven, was saved from this sin. This act, this forbidden relationship did not come to him. After, would it be possible? His descendants are going to stand on Har Evel and say, cursed is the one that lies with the wife of his father. And he, the grandfather of these descendants, should have sinned with this. He wouldn't have merited to have his descendants stand on Har Evel to answer Amen for this curse. Elamani Mikayim v'yishkav as Bila Pelegesh. So what is the meaning when it says that he did lie with Bila, the Pelegesh of his father? El bain imay tava. The embarrassment of his mother he was demanding. Omar, he said as follows: If the sister of my mother, Rachel, was a rival wife to my mother, and Yaakov's bed wasn't her tent, the maidservant of my mother's sister, which is Bila, should not be a rival to my mother, and Yaakov should keep his bed in her tent. So he went and he disturbed Yaakov's bed. He took Yaakov's bed and placed it in his mother's tent. Others say, Shtei matzah is bilbil. there are two beds that he disturbed. Achas shel Shchina, one is from the Shchina, v'achas shel Aviv, and one from his father. Wherever Yaakov was, there was also a bed for the Shchina, and wherever Yaakov saw the Shchina was present, that's where he went to sleep that night, as Rashi explains over here. And v'haina d'chsev, oz chilalta yitzui Allah, and according to some Gerses, we read in the Gemara, al tikri yitzui, in a singular term, eli yitzuai, referring to the fact that he disturbed two beds, the bed of Yaakov and the bed of the Shechina. Ketanoi, this concept, whether Reuven did sin or not, is really a machlokes of Tanoim. So, where do we see this? Pachas kamayim. When Yaakov speaks to his children before he passes away, so to Reuven he says, Pachas kamayim. You rushed like water, al taiser, and therefore you will not have the additional things that you should have had, the bechayra and so on. So what's the meaning of the word pachas? So over here we're going to have various opinions regarding the three letters of pachas, that it's a Rosh Tevis. Rabbi Eliezer says, pazta, you rushed. Chavta, you were liable. And zalta, you belittled. So according to his opinion, we see that he did sin. Rabbi Yeshua said, pasato al das, you stepped on the religion. Chatasa, you sinned. Zanisa, and you had a forbidden relationship. So again, we see his opinion is that he did sin. Rabbi Gamliel, however, Rabbi Gamliel says, pilalta, you daven. Chalta, you trembled in fear. Zarcha tfilascha, and your tefillah, your prayers were shining. In other words, he did not sin. Rabbi Gamliel then added and said, we still need the Rosh Tevis that Rabbi Lazar Hamudai said, came from the city Maidai. We still need his Rosh Tevis. And as the Mashal over here explains, because even though Rabbi Gamliel showed us in the Rosh Tevis that he davened and he trembled, and l'chayra, this means that it's clear that he did not sin, but possibly you would still think that he did sin, but then he davened after he sinned to do tshuva. So therefore we need a clarification of what Rabbi Lazar Hamidai said that shows that he did not sin. Rabbi Lazar Hamidai, hipoches hateva v'darsha. So you have to darshan the words from the end. From the Zion. Zizata, you trembled or you sweated. Hirtata, and you drew back. And parcha chatascha mimech, and the sin flew off from you. So he did not sin at all. Even he davened and he trembled and in advance, and he did not sin. So here we see the machlokes Tanoim whether Reuven sinned or not. He also dashed the word from the end. You remember the punishment for this act. You allowed yourself to become very ill in order not to sin here. And you separated yourself from this sin. Now here the Gemara will bring up other people as well that it seems like they did sin, but the truth is that they did not. Reuven, one of them was Reuven that we just mentioned, Bnei Eli, Bnei Shmuel, David, Shloime, Yoyesh is the Simon. So the Gemara now begins with Bnei Eli, the children of Eli, where if you look in the pasuk over there in Malachim, it seems very clear that the Bnei Eli also had forbidden relationships with women that came to the Beis HaMikdash. They were Eishes Ish, and they had a forbidden relationship with them. So Amar Rab Shmuel bar Achmeni, Amar Rab Yonasan Kalayim Bnei Eli Chatu, whoever says that the children of Eli sinned, Einay Ela Toyeh, is making a mistake. Shenemar, the pasuk says, Visham Bnei Eli, over there in the Beis HaMikdash, there were the children of Eli. And who are these two children? Chafni upinchis. Kayanim la Hashem, they were kayanim to the Eibusher. So this is an extra pasuk, and it puts together Chafni and Pinchas. So the Gemara says, Sava lo kerav. So Rabbi Yonasan holds like Rav's opinion. The Gemara will soon quote Rav said, the Amar Rav said, Pinchas lechota. Even if Chafni did sin, but Pinchas did not sin. So now Rabbi Yonasan says, Makish Chafni le Pinchas. We compare Chafni to Pinchas. Ma Pinchas lechata, just as it's clear that Pinchas did not sin, Af Chafni lechata. So Chafni did not sin either. Elamani Mekayim, so what's the meaning of this that it says there in the Pasuk Asher Yishkavun es Anoshim, that they lied with women, they had forbidden relationships with women? So the answer is Mitoich Shesho es Kineyen, because they did not immediately bring their korbanos that the women have to bring after they give birth. So they were waiting to bring the birds that have to be brought for their korban, and the women had to wait there. And they couldn't return back home to their husbands. The Pasuk is so severe about this that it's as if they had a forbidden relationship with them. This is what Rabbi Yonasan says regarding both Chofni and Pinchas. Now the Gemara brings the statement of Rav. Here's the statement itself that Rav said. Omar Rav, Pinchas lo chata. We know that Pinchas did not sin. How could this be? Shenema, because there's a pasuk where it says, V'achia ben Achitov, Achi Ichovayd ben Pinchas. The son of Pinchas, which was Ben Eli Kain Hashem, the son of Eli. So this is the yichus that the pasuk over here says. The yichus going back to Pinchas, the son of Eli. Now, Efshechet Bali Yada. Is it possible that Pinchas did sin? He did have a forbidden relationship with an Eishes Ish. Va'akasav miyachsai, and the pasuk here says that there's the yichus of descendants that came from him that are serving in the Beis Hamikdash. But va'lekvar nemar, there's another pasuk where it says, Yachreis Hashem le'ish asher yasena. The Eibusha will cut off a person that does this, that has a forbidden relationship. Eir va'ayna mi'ala Yaakov, Eir and Ayna, from amongst the tent of Yaakov. The Gemara will soon explain what Eir and Ayna and Ala Yaakov means. Umagish mincha l'Hashem tzvais, and one that brings the carbon mincha in the Beis Hamikdash. What does this mean? So the Gemara explains the pshat in this pasuk that the Eibusha will cut off Eir and Ayna from the Chachamim and the Talmidim and to be the karbonis. From Ala Yaakov, that is, and the karban is being brought in the Beis Hamikdash. Im Yisraelu, if this individual that sinned is a Yisrael, la'yeh loy eir b'chachamim v'loy ayne b'talmidim. He will not be an heir amongst chachamim, meaning he will not be alert amongst the talmidim, and he won't be responsive amongst chachamim. V'im kayenu la'yeh loy ben magish mincha. And if he's a kayin, he will not have a descendant that will bring a carbon into the Beis Hamikdash. So we clearly see over here that this is the punishment for somebody that sins. Even if he's a big Talmud Chacham, the Eibusha will take away his ability to be sharp, to be able to learn Torah. And for a Kayin, he will not have descendants that will serve in the Beis Hamikdash. So how over here does it say that Pinchas had descendants that serve in the Beis Hamikdash? Why is the pasuk saying this yichus? So therefore we see that Pinchas did not sin. Elolav shmami no, that Pinchas lechata. Pinchas did not sin. But Ela Haksiv, when the pasuk there describes what happened between Pinchas and Chofni, it uses a plural term. It says Asher Yishkevun. They both lied with women. They both sinned. So the Gemara says no, Yishkevun ksiv. You have to read it in a singular term, that it was only Chofni and not Pinchas. Vaksiv el Banai. Kiloi Toiva Shmua, that Eli spoke to his children, plural, to both of them, telling them that it's not, I'm not happy about what I heard. Amar Rav Nachman Yitzchak B'ni Ksiv. Again, you have to read it singular, B'ni, my child. Vaksiv Mavirim, plural term. Amar Rav Hona B'rei Rav Yeshua Maviram Ksiv. You have to again read it singular term. Vaksiv B'nei B'li Yahal. Again, a plural term. So the answer is Mitoich Shahoyla LePinchas Limchais. Pinchas did not sin, but because he could have protested, he could have showed the way for his brother Lechofni, his brother Chofni that did sin. V'loy Michan, he did not sin, he did not protest, that is, Maila Olavakasa Kilochata, the Torah considers it as if he sinned. So, Taisus over here says that this is in the end of this story here about Bnei Eli, this is a machlokes between Rabbi Yonasan and Rav. According to Rav, Chofni did sin and Pinchas did not, and according to Rabbi Yonasan, both of them did not sin, because we have a pasuk that compares them, Chofni u Pinchas, Kainim Lashem, and they both did not sin. That's the end of the Gemara today. We'll see the continuation when we get to other great tzaddikim that the Gemara examines and explains that really they did not sin. We'll see the Hemshech tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Hatzlacha Rabbah, and everything you do. We should only hear Yeshuas and Refuas for everybody that needs it, and the Geula Shleima for Klal Yisrael. Have a great day.